Well, good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here in West Virginia, and it's a grand day. The sun is shining brightly. We should be up above freezing within an hour or two, and they're calling for more sunshine throughout the day. So, what a wonderful way to begin the new week, filled with optimism and positive attitude. And that's what I'd like to talk to all of you about today. Uh, the importance of keeping a positive frame of mind. In our self care series that we've been going through this first part of the year, today is the day that when I looked at the little chart, it said, read something that makes you smile. And I thought, well, okay, that should be pretty easy because I have a calendar here in my office that has positive messages every single day of the year. And each day when I read one of the messages, it makes me have a little smile. And that led me to thinking about all the other things that make me smile just automatically. And of course, babies are one. Who doesn't like a happy baby? Uh, and I just began going through my mind and reading some of these messages. And I'd like to share with you uh, that I don't know about you, but a lot of times life gets full of things that distract us from things that we really enjoy. And we end up just going through the motions of dealing with everything of work, family, chores, bills to pay, and all the other things that we deal with every day in and day out, without any thought about our own happiness. Before we know it, we can't even remember the last time that we laughed out loud. And that is really tragic. Well, that led me to think about one of my favorite songs, which is a simple little ditty written by Bob Marley. You may know it. Here's a little song I wrote. You don't have to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. And that led me to thinking about my grandmother, because my grandmother used to say, don't waste time worrying. It's like trying to get to town in a rocking chair. You do an awful lot of moving, but you don't get anywhere. So that led me to Bob Marley, and I got out one of the books that I have on the shelf. That's I like books that have sayings in them and help you keep a positive perspective about your life, because all of us knows that we do have stuff in our life. Uh, but a positive life really does begin with a positive mind. And I guess probably one of the rules that I try to follow is to do something that makes me happy every day. It can be something really simple, something maybe a little more grand, but to actually focus on something that makes me happy every single day. And I thought of some of the quotes that I've read through the years and how they have sort of helped me keep this philosophy for life in mind. Um, my dad used to tell me uh, that I should never trust a person that doesn't have wrinkles in the corners of their eyes, and to make sure that those scars of life, which are what wrinkles tend to be, are laugh lines, not anger lines. And I thought, wow, as I've gotten older and people's lives sort of get etched onto their faces, which to me is a testimony of the life that they have lived so far, they are very revealing and very telling. Happiness is a state of mind, no matter what we have or have not, no matter what our day brings us. We can always find a little happiness somewhere and some laughter. It's so important that we never negate that as unimportant. Sometimes we all need a little reminder that life is supposed to be fun and we were meant to be happy. And that actually brings me to um, a thought that I had about putting off happiness. How many of you delay your joy? Oh, when this happens, that'll make me happy. When this happens, that will make me happy. And so it goes. And happiness always seems to be something that will come to us after we have done all these things we need to do. Well, sometimes we need that reminder that we're supposed to be happy every day, to find the joy in the life we live. Uh, it doesn't necessarily depend on our circumstances. It often depends on the choice that we're going to make that day. Are we going to approach it in a positive way, or are we going to approach it in a negative way? There is nothing in the world so irresistible as a contagious laugh and a sense of good humor. And I think you see that in babies. I know when I can make a baby laugh, my day is just glowing because in that moment, I've connected with that baby. It's the same way with the little kids or even with strangers on the street. Just to share a smile with them and have them smile back uh, means the world to me. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said something that really stuck in my brain on this topic. He said, "For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness." And if you're going to waste a lot of time in anger, instead of trying to move past it and moving on in a positive direction in your life, you're really, in a sense, wasting some very valuable time that you can't get back. Uh, the time to be happy is now. Uh, it's not Friday. It's not when spring comes and the daffodils are blooming. Uh, it's not waiting for somebody to fall in love with you. It's not waiting for you to achieve something. Make the most of the time you've been given right now because that's your real present. Being in the present, which is required of being happy very often, um, is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. Happiness really is a choice. You can choose to be happy. Uh, Stuff always happens. There is never going to be a time, probably, when you have absolutely no stress in your life. But you do get to choose how it's going to affect you. Valerie Bertinelli, most of us know from TV shows back in the 80s, um, suffers from depression, and she's made this, publicly aware, trying to help other people. And that's one of the things that she works on every day. She says that you need to be able to choose your joy and to live a joyful life. And sometimes when you're dealing with various things that occur in your life, that's more difficult to do. Depression can bring a person down so much. And we need to try to surround ourselves with as much positivity as we can to help us keep in a positive state of mind. Groucho Marx, who I used to enjoy, when he was on the air, and if you have never seen him, you can Google some of his old shows uh, in YouTube. In fact, Mrs. Mann's is interviewed by Groucho Marx on one of his old shows. Uh, he said, "I, not events, have the power to make me happy today. I can choose which it shall be. Yesterday is dead. Tomorrow hasn't arrived yet. I have just one day today, and I'm going to be happy in it." And every time I read that quote by Groucho Marx, I have to smile because he's right. I get that choice. Uh, the other thing that I get to do that really is so beneficial to me personally is that I can share a smile with the world and make a difference in somebody's life. Just a simple smile. Have you ever stood in line anywhere at a grocery store, at a convenience store, uh, at a variety store, even in line waiting to go do something that you really love to do, like attend a sports event or maybe go to a theme park, and noticed around you there are a lot of grumpy people and they really could benefit from a smile. And so you smile because you've got one extra in your pocket. You put it on and they smile right back at you. My goodness, joy is a feeling of grinning inside. You're making yourself happy when you share your happiness with others. And a smile is a good way to reflect how you're doing. Uh, Happiness is good for your health. It uh, keeps you tuned up to appreciate and enjoy the life that you've been given to live. And you need to learn to enjoy every minute of your day. Be happy now. Don't wait for something outside of yourself to make you happy in the future. Think how really precious is the time you have right now to spend, whether it's at work or whether it's with your family, even if it's quietly with yourself in the moment with yourself. Savor it and be happy in it. Um, One of the things that I really appreciate that comes with happiness and sharing a smile and these types of things is the benefit of laughter. Uh, my brother and sister and I, which some of you know because I posted some pictures on my Facebook page about it, actually had a time to spend together that we've not had for quite a few years, just a few weeks ago. And we went to the zoo one day. Three grown-ups went to the zoo, and we went with my brother's daughter, and she thought the three of us were nuts because we had such a good time. We laughed so much that our insides ached from the laughter that we had shared with each other. It was just the very best day that we had had together as a family in quite some time. And when we went home that evening, we were just glowing from having shared that cup of happiness with each other. And one of the people that was in the zoo when we were there came up to us while we were going through the zoo, just being ourselves. And she said, "You all seem to truly enjoy what you're doing right now." And my brother said, "Well, yes, I do. I've got the two best looking women in my family here with me." Well, it's a good thing that nobody else in the family heard him, but he was in the moment, he was happy, and he was sharing his joy with that lady and with us. And it made that trip even more special because we took those moments and maximized them. We didn't talk about how sore our feet were or how long the trip was, or who was lagging behind, or who was thirsty, or where were we going to find some place to relieve ourselves after we drank all the water. Uh, that was just not on our agenda that day. Our day was devoted to being in the moment and happy with each other because we really didn't know when that time would come again. I guess one of my fears is just that. Uh, Wasting a moment that could have been shared in happiness and gratitude and joy uh, on being negative and grumpy and argumentative. You can always find a way to live in the moment with love and grace and gratitude. Um, Laughter, I found out, is a wonderful bodily exercise. And since we're all focused on our getting as healthy as we can and living our best lives, we definitely need to include time in our life just to laugh. I know Abraham Lincoln, one of he was a very knowledgeable, uh, very informed statesman, but he also had a little bit of a sense of humor. They were talking to him uh, one day just about his life and how things were going in a time of great crisis and concern, and how the people were responding to what he had to say. And he said, most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. And that's true. If you make up your mind that you're going to live your life happily, you it helps you overcome the things that will just in living come your way. You don't have to give up your joy to cope with serious issues. In fact, use your joy to help you cope in a positive way and find the best path to follow for you and all that you love. Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Uh, I know for a fact that we all smile in the very same language, and that the best way, as Mark Twain said, to cheer yourself up is to cheer up someone else. Share your joy. Uh, it doesn't have to be a perfect day to be a happy day. Happiness is not something ready made, it has to come from our own actions. In order to be utterly happy, the only thing necessary is to refrain from comparing the moment you're in now that is bringing you such joy with any other moment in the past. Just appreciate who you are, where you are, with whom you are, and what you're doing together. Uh, I hope all of us can find and appreciate and share our joy. The world would be a better place if we could. Uh, we have so many opportunities to turn any interaction we have with another person into a positive one, into one that makes their day better just as much as it made your day better. I I've shared this with people from time to time through the years. I keep in my glove compartment of my car a red rubber nose. And I keep it there for a particular reason. I very often have to go into Washington, D.C. And if you've ever been in any big city where there's a lot of traffic, you know that people very often seem to have lost their happiness, their ability to smile, their ability to relax and just appreciate the moment for what it is, even though it may not be exactly what they wanted it to be. And what happens when I go over that way, I'm always getting into heavy traffic. And there's always somebody in line that has to get there 3 minutes ago that's got a horn that they want to honk and blare at everybody else who is bumper to bumper, couldn't get out of the way if they had to, pretty much, and is sharing, and it's their choice. They are sharing their angst and their upset with everybody around them. Well, that's where the red rubber nose comes in, because I want to be happy. That's the life I want to live. And so I'll pop the glove compartment open and I'll pull out my red rubber nose and I'll stick it on. And as we're waiting in traffic, as we inch along, I'll start looking out my window with my nose on and I'll wave and I'll smile. Well, you would be amazed at the number of people that take that moment to laugh and to smile back. And before long, it's spreading in my little area of the interstate because people are motioning to other people. Look at that lunatic in that car with that red rubber nose that thinks it's fun to be stuck in traffic. Well, I don't necessarily think it's fun, but I do know that I have a choice as to how I'm going to respond to what's going on around me. And I want to respond in a relaxed, happy way that'll get me through there with good grace and maybe lighten the burden for everybody. Uh, One of the things I do know that when you're laughing, you can't be in the past or in the future in your thoughts. You're in the moment. And we need to focus on the moment and making the best of it as we go through our lives. Uh, a day wasted to me is very often a day without some laughter in it. And if you look around, uh, there's always something that will make you smile. And I was really grateful that came up today in the self care uh, presentation that I've been giving you. That we need to read something that makes us smile. Because had I not gone to my little booklet that has all of these nice positive quotes, it always makes me smile when I read it. I am not sure my day would have started as quickly on a positive note as it did. That's a good lesson to learn. When you get up, decide how you want your day to go. Uh, a lot of us get up in the morning and we say, well, today's the day I'm going to start my new way of living. And you can tell within your mind that it's not something that's bringing you great joy. Well, chances are good you're not going to continue if that's the way you're really thinking. But if you say, hey, today I woke up and it's a day to make the best of whatever in my life and move forward with what I have planned, how much better your state of mind is going to carve a path for you to follow. Um, I've shared a poem called Today with You many times because it's a poem that sort of is my mantra for life. Uh, and the end line of that, which is how I think I'll close this because I've been chatting with you for a good little bit here about the importance of staying positive, uh, finding reasons to smile, sharing your smiles with others as you go through your day. I Not just for them, but for you too. It benefits everybody if we keep a positive state of mind. And the end line of this poem says, my own state of mind is the determining key, for I am the person I let myself be. And I think that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to share with you today. Let yourself be a happy person. Hang on to, and celebrate your joy every day. And take a moment to laugh. You will be amazed at what a difference it makes in your life and in the lives of everyone around you, uh, whether they know you personally or not. So spread some joy, have a great week, make it a happy one, and I will check in with you later. Bye for now.